I'm gonna show you one of my favorite stretches for fixing hip pain. If you've got groin pain, you just feel like everything around here is just tight and uncomfortable, this stretch is going to blow you away. It's very simple, you don't need any special equipment, so if you're ready, let's get ready to think right, move right, and feel right. Starting off with the simplest version, you can stand next to your couch or a bench and just put one knee on top of it. The other leg is just going to be out to the side, and then you're going to be shifting so that your hips are moving back. So you're hinging, and you're going to be looking for a stretch in the inner thigh of this straight leg. So you're just shifting your butt back and feeling that stretch as you go into it. This knee is pretty straight, you don't have to lock it, and you definitely shouldn't hyperextend it. Your spine should be in neutral, meaning it's just like normal when you're standing. I don't want you to be like forcing yourself in like this. I want you to keep your spine at a nice neutral position. So all the motion is really happening between the femur and the pelvis here. So you're just going back, 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 shifting that butt back. You can play with pelvic tilt, so you can posteriorly tilt it. You can anteriorly tilt it. You can just see what feels tough for you. You can also explore with how far out this leg can go. Experiment. Can it go much farther out? What happens if it's just right here? Does anything feel different about the stretch for you? When you position your foot differently, you're going to get either more of the adductors, more of the hamstrings, and depending on you, whatever you're doing with your body in your life, it might feel better to have it further out or closer in. Now, once you feel like, oh yeah, I found a good spot, then you want to breathe. Stay there. Allow that stuff to loosen up. When you're stretching out your inner thighs, a lot of times it can feel initially like you are trying to stretch a piece of wood, and that's normal. I don't know why it does that, it just does that. I think because a lot of us never stretch our inner thigh muscles, it just feels absolutely awful when we first start. Now, once you're there, you can also experiment with aiming yourself towards your foot. You can sweep around, aim your chest over to the other direction, see how that feels, shift. Just try to be creative, figure out where things feel a little bit tough, and just let that open up. Now, once you get better and better at that, and you feel like you can get wider, then you can come lower to the floor, and then we can put some cushions down under the knee instead, and now we're in a much more abducted position. So this leg is further out to the side, and then we're doing the same thing. Just searching around, shifting the butt back, going into the hinge, walking around, seeing what feels funny. You can even come up like this and see how that feels. See what just doesn't feel quite smooth in your inner thigh, in your groin, and just loosen it up, okay? So when you're doing this stretch, you can be in this exploration mode. You can be holding this for around a minute, hopefully, if you can tolerate it. If you can't tolerate it, then you're probably pressing too hard, you're probably going too deep, so you probably need to find a less strenuous position. So if you're in here and you're like, oh, good Lord, this hurts so bad, then you need to actually shift forward a little bit so it's not so intense. It doesn't feel like you're ripping muscle apart. Just shift forward so that you can breathe and hang out there for like 60 seconds. If you can hang out there for 2 minutes, it's going to be even better. But just attenuate the intensity. Make sure it's not so crazy. The last thing you want to do is cripple yourself in the middle of the stretch, or cripple yourself with soreness because you went so darn hard during that stretch, okay? So, hey, I wanna say a big thanks to Patricia for her $50 donation to support this channel. If you wanna support me too, you can use the donate link you'll find in the description box, or join me on Patreon at patreon.com/uprighthealth. And I would love to see you over there with my exclusive content and early release videos. And if not, just hit the subscribe button, please. It really does help. Join me on my free newsletter at uprighthealth.com/newsletter. Now let's get back to it. Breathe, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, something like that. Breathe, relax, and then See how you feel. Check in with your body. Does it feel better? Do your hips feel a little different? Oftentimes, just one round of stretching out your inner thighs can feel like a massive relief because we've often never done anything like that for ourselves. And of course, you're going to want to stretch out the other side, so make sure you spend time doing the other side, whether it's down on the floor or up on a bench. Okay, when you first start doing this, I would suggest starting off just twice in 1 week. So you don't need to hammer yourself in that first week by doing it 4 times a day every single day. Just try it out one day, maybe it's Monday, and then on Thursday try it out again. And then if everything feels like, okay, I think I got it, it's going okay, then go ahead and start doing it more often. Maybe you can do it a couple times a day, maybe you need to. Maybe you feel like, hey, I'm just gonna do this like 3 days a week, and that feels like really good. My hips are feeling nice. Awesome. Keep going with that. Everybody's body is going to be a little bit different, so you just have to experiment a little to see how it feels for you. Drop me a comment down below to let me know how this stretch felt for you. And if you're trying to rebuild your body at home, go to uprighthealth.com/DIY to find a program that's going to work for you. For more free videos to help you with your hips, check these out here. To support future videos like this, go to patreon.com/uprighthealth and become a patron. Like, share, and subscribe with the bell notification on, and as always, I hope you remember that pain sucks, life shouldn't.